Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. And let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from Oh Boy, who says, my girlfriend jokingly asked if we could have a threesome with her best friend. Am I the arsehole here for being down? They're away for obvious reasons. Last night, before bed, my girlfriend, 23 female, asked me, 23 male, if I would be down for a threesome with her best friend since high school, 24 female. The two of us have been discussing experimenting in the bedroom for a while. Things haven't necessarily been stale, we just wanted to find some ways to mix things up, so it wasn't entirely out of the blue. Now, I was definitely surprised that she suggested her friend to be our third, but they're close, so I guess it made sense to me. Her friend and I aren't like best buddies or anything, but it's not like we don't get along. Anyway, I said yes. She stared at me speechless for a long time. Eventually she asked, "Are you serious?" "Are you serious?" I responded. "No, I was kidding," she said. I thought it was funny for a moment, but I dared not laugh as it was clear she did not feel that way. Without another word, she got up and spent the night on the couch. I tried to call her back as she walked out, but she said she had talked to me in the morning. Well, I decided I'd better let her sleep it off and we'd talk when she was ready. The talk that followed wasn't easy. To sum up though, she's pissed at me because she thinks I want to fuck her friend and that I was way too excited at the idea. I didn't see it that way. I thought it was a way to be explorative in our sex life with someone we're both already comfortable with. Is she reading too far into this, or am I the arsehole? Active Rain says, two people here, and you're not the one that's the arsehole. Your girlfriend is a bit immature. This is also why 3 in the sack rarely works when you're in a committed relationship. How is she going to react after this threesome? Regardless of whom it's with, if you make the wrong move in bed, touch the girl at the wrong time, screw her too long, you'll be in deep shit. Another commenter says she played a stupid game and then got mardy when it backfired. In all honesty, if she's playing games and you're answering questions like this with an honest yes, I don't see much of a future for you. Another commenter says, not the arsehole, that was a trap. Everyone needs to learn from this mistake. Some useful alternatives to blurting out, yes, I will happily fuck your best friend. Like, is that something you really want to try? And/or, I don't think we should risk our relationship unless you are sure. Maybe even, I don't think I could, but I would be with you while you fuck your friend, you know. If you want. Next time, don't be so damn eager. Ditto Datu Do says, I'm going to come at this from a couple of different angles. For one, you're not an arsehole for answering honestly, which, when she asks you a question, if she didn't want the answer, she shouldn't have asked. But 2, I'd strongly discourage involving other people in the bedroom if you think she is the one, and hope to marry her one day. It inevitably ends relationships if it continues, due to inevitable jealousy, insecurity, etc. If this relationship isn't serious, fine, but never have a threesome with someone you hope to marry or are already married to. Good old relationship tests. They always work out well, don't they? But OP updated the post a couple of days later and says, I've never posted an update before, so let me know if I'm doing this improperly. But with everything that's happened, I wanted to let you all know. I read as many comments as I could and I do appreciate all the feedback. The general consensus that I saw was, she was testing you and you're an idiot, which I could accept, to be honest. Hindsight is 2020, and I've learned my lesson. We decided we would sit down and talk once we both got home from work last night, and armed with all that I had read, I was prepared to do so. Before that happened though, the aforementioned friend reached out to me while I was at work. I was blown away to read a message which said, hey, I just felt I should tell you, my girlfriend's name was on FaceTime with me when she asked you about a threesome. I was surprised by your response, but I wanted you to know that I'm interested. Immediately, I thought this had to be a follow-up test, right? So, determined not to fall for that again. I screenshotted the message but didn't respond. When it came time to have our talk, I couldn't help but come right out of the gate confronting her with that message from her friend, saying things like, why would you test me like this? Can you not trust me? I was in a fury and not letting her get a word in when she finally cut me off and admitted that she was wrong to ask me about the threesome, but she had not told her friend to say anything to me. I didn't believe her, so she let me go through her phone and make sure. There was nothing. I still don't know how I can believe her or trust her. Messages aren't the only form of communication. Long story short, we broke up. I'm going to be shaken up about this for a while. So wild how a relationship I thought was healthy could blow up in my face so quickly. But I guess that's how it is sometimes. Thanks for your help, Reddit. Commenter says to OP, so your ex, unbeknownst to you, had a friend on FaceTime when she asked you that question. Yeah, there's absolutely no trust to be had after that. Thank the friend for letting you know about FaceTime and then be done with both of them. OP says, that is exactly where I'm at. Such a weird, out of left field thing to do. I've never experienced something like this. 5 months I'll never get back. Commenter says, it sucks that a stupid joke killed your relationship. It sounds like she's really insecure and maybe she really did talk to her friend about it. And maybe the friend was a little too eager and that made her uncomfortable. I think breaking up might have been a little too much, but you definitely need space between each other for a few days. I probably would call her back if you really love her. Another commenter says, you need to take a step back at least for a little while. I'm not advocating breaking up, but you two need to take a few days and really calm down and think about what you want. If she needs to talk to her friend or for you to talk to both of them in person, that might be the best way to really clear the air. Did I read that right? That it's only been like 5 months that they're together and they're already looking to spice things up. I was just like, oh no, this doesn't sound good at all. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now our next story comes from Estrella Ente, I think it is, which says, am I the arsehole here for asking my girlfriend that if she wants me to help her sisters, she needs to work or reduce the days they come home? It starts, my girlfriend, 30 female, and I, 29 male, have been together for 4 years. I thought I knew everything about her until a few weeks ago, when I found out that her father died and her mother and 3 sisters are homeless. We were forced to be the babysitters of her sisters. At first, everything was fine, but it got worse quickly. The family budget increased rapidly. My girlfriend's sisters do not respect me. They fly and insult me. They broke some dear objects, and it is hard to come home from work and find the house a mess, and cooking for 5 or 6 people. My girlfriend's depression is increasing, and she can hardly get out of bed. But I need help immediately. My salary does not even cover a tiny part of it. I'm working overtime, and I'm exhausted. I asked my girlfriend to get a job, or it will be impossible to continue the rhythm of life we are having. My girlfriend is angry with me. She says that I don't support her enough, and my father tells me that I should be a man and face the situation for the woman I love. I don't know what to do. Am I the arsehole for my request? First commenter says on this one, not the arsehole. You shouldn't have to pay for her family's expenses and such, even if you were married. Right now, she's just your girlfriend. I'm outraged for you. Are you sure this is the relationship you want? Hope says thanks. The truth is that no, it's not the relationship I would like. It's been a while since we were no longer good. Plus she lied to me all this time saying he had no family. It's shocking because I'm giving it all and it's still not enough. Another commenter says take your father's advice and be a man and make the tough decision of kicking them all out to save your own sanity. You are not obligated to take care of everyone else while your own health deteriorates. Opie says, I don't want to throw them out. I don't have the heart. But my spirit is broken and my body is at the limit. I think I've aged a year and a week. That's why I made this proposal. I can't take it anymore. Another commenter says, I don't understand your father. Be a man. Did he have experience taking care of 4 homeless women and 1 depressed girlfriend by himself? Opie says, thanks for commenting. My father is old school in that sense. For him, a man lives for and for his wife or girlfriend, and that philosophy is carried out rigorously. That's why he asked me to endure more. My girlfriend whom I love, even if it takes me to the limit. And there was a lot of comments on the back of this one suggesting that OP get themselves out of that situation because, like the commenter said, that your own mental health is deteriorating and it's not going to be good if it continues like this. But OP comes in a week later and says, I posted my problem here a week or so ago and would like to give my update. Basically, I showed everyone that I hadn't even finished the first week of the month and I was already in negative numbers. My mother explained to me that the same thing was happening with her sister, where her daughters go to sleep, and they don't even have a mattress or room for themselves. They were saving up to buy them, but that's why they ate and lived during the day at my house. I didn't think it was fair, and we argued. Everything got worse when my ex gave me an ultimatum. Either we did things the way we were doing them, or we broke up. I was expecting that low blow, so I started to sell some things to pay the month's rent and the fine for leaving early. And I will wait until this weekend to move in with my mother or stepbrother. All this under secrecy. The situation is on fire and I don't want to add gasoline to the problem. About my father. My stepmother put him in his place and apologized to me, which is rare for him. That's all. Honestly, I would have liked a nicer update, but no. Feeling like a stranger in your own home is the worst. The commenter says to OP, are you on the lease or mortgage? What's your housing situation here? OP says lease contract, and I'm the only one on the signature. Between tomorrow and the day after I contact the owner, who is aware of the situation from what I found out, we'll have to pay a fine or penalty, and this month and see the situation of my ex. I do not know what will become of that sincerely. Commenter says, dude, you have to talk to your landlord to get these people kicked out, but it might become more of a headache at the end of the day. Try and get out as fast as possible. This is toxic behavior on your girlfriend's part, and the fact that she doesn't have a job is wild. What about the mother? Why doesn't she have a job? How old are the sisters? Can't they get a part-time job? Opie says I'm talking to the landlady. We will see how to move forward, but for sure financially, she will leave me broke. And about the mother, I don't know her well enough. I know she can't drive, but I don't know much more. And my ex, when she had her anxiety attacks and severe depression 3 years ago, we agreed that she would be a housewife and have part-time jobs. For almost 2 years now, she is not working, and the death of the father made her decline a lot. The sisters are 12, 5, 4, and 2 years old. People questioned and they said, why can't OP evict everyone else and keep the place? OP says that place brings back horrible vibes, memories, and feelings. Besides, if I stay, they would know where I live, and I fear reprisals sincerely. Someone questioned OP saying, what does OP know about the girlfriend's family? OP says, I don't know her family at all. Just a few weeks ago, I knew they were estranged and in no contact for many years. Even my ex said she had no family. At that point, she was destroyed in her relationship with her parents until the death of her father. Commenter says, I don't know where you are, but if you're in the US, there are usually plenty of food pantries, churches, and soup kitchens, SNAP benefits. There are agencies and services that will help with food and housing. Steer them in that direction. Opie says I'm not an American. There are similar benefits in my country. So another week later, OP came in with another update and said, well, this update is better. This week was crazy. Due to stress and tiredness, I had problems with work, but I was able to talk to my landlady. We came to the conclusion that the best thing to do was to end the contract. She would be in the whole process of moving and all that, giving me a month of rent, but penalizing me for ending the contract prematurely. So I sold almost half of my stuff. I would have sold a little more, but I didn't have the time to pay both moving trucks and all the fines. My relationship with my ex, even living with her, was cold. I barely spoke and called her by her full name. I think she noticed because she started to tell me not to leave or to forgive her, but I couldn't even look at her. I was a sea of tears the whole week, but I'm getting better. The day of the move, which was yesterday, the girls were not there, only her, and it was crazy, screaming, kicking, insulting, but my mum and stepmother, along with some friends, helped me in my move that was done in half an hour. Oh, I thought I had more things. On her part, she called a friend and a friend in common who took her things. In total, it must have been an hour of work and half an hour of screaming and crying. But thanks to the front mum's stepmother, I could get through it without crying. Yesterday, I had to block my ex and to her family. I hope they don't keep bothering, but with that family, I don't know. About my father, we don't talk and he didn't show up. I only know they are disunited a lot because of this, my stepmother and him. I don't know if the relationship will be the same, and I am now living with my stepbrother and his boyfriend. I sleep on a sofa, but I have freedoms. I can go back to sleeping in boxes and instead have to work in his business on Saturdays. But I have a house and food insured, even though I'm financially broke. Finally, I would like to say why I am precipitated in this situation. If I had a coin for every time a relative of my partner comes to live in my house, I would have 2 coins, which is not much, but it is curious that it happens twice. Long ago, an ex brought her father, who lost his house. At first I said, I have to help, but quickly it became hell. The man walked as if he was the owner of the house. He brought his friends to play cards and stayed all night on work days. He did nothing. He ate everything. He did not wash his clothes. His hygiene was terrible. He walked in tighty-whities all the time, and he forbade me to sleep with my girlfriend. He made us sick. Getting him out was difficult and very traumatic. He broke things and made that month hell for us. But he left, but not before knocking me out in the street and humiliating me. The relationship with that woman died after that. I did not want to repeat all that again. Thank you all for your good wishes and encouragement. I send my virtual hugs and good wishes to all. Cheers and good luck and vibes to all. The top commenter on this one said to OP, not gonna lie, you carried this whole situation on your back like a champ. Moving out, handling the drama, cutting toxic people off. That's growth. Proud of you, man. Stay up and don't let anyone guilt you into being their doormat ever again. OP replied saying thank you. It was very hard. These weeks exhausted me a lot. I moved heaven and earth to solve this. I no longer wanted to go through the same, and a little sacrifice to solve it quickly is good. And yes, I hope that my column, I'm assuming spinal column, is now formed of adamantium is durable. Someone says, why didn't OP's ex-girlfriend get a job? OP says she has severe depression. She was already in bad shape. I think the whole situation made her illness worse. A commenter replies to that saying, I'm sorry, but as someone with mental health problems of my own, that's nonsense. She decided that you needed to take care of her and her family. It was easier for her to make you pick up the tab than it was for her to go and get a job. And she thought you'd give in and do what she wanted. Now she has to pay her own bills. Her family has to figure their own shit out. You were their life raft and they didn't give a damn that you were underwater. They only cared that you kept them afloat. She's not upset because she loves and misses you. Your ex is so upset because she got to pay her own way, which means getting a job. And OP replies saying, honestly, I was stuck by how little my ex cared about me. I mean, she saw how I was insulted and how I came home exhausted after more than 12 hours of work, and she still demanded more and more. I feel that I took more than one backpack off my back. And OP obviously made the right choice in getting out of that situation. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is recognize, when it's coming to its end, because she seemed quite happy watching OP struggle, getting salted, working himself to exhaustion, and then is just demanding more. That's not love, is it? The point where she gave him an ultimatum, either continue working yourself to death and being disrespected in your own house, or you break up. Well, she got what she wanted in the end, right? And don't get me wrong, I got empathy for anyone who's going through mental health issues, absolutely, but you can have mental health issues and be a shitty person at the same time. And whilst in his final update, it did sound, a little bit rough at the moment because you're sleeping on your stepbrother's sofa, but at the same time, the relief you must be feeling as well coming out of that situation has got to be huge, especially compared to staying in the toxic environment you was before. But what do you guys reckon? How do you think he handled it? Did he make the right call, or was there other options? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories, your love, your support, your time. It always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.